Hello YouTube, hello MGTOW. This is me, MGTOW, in the win. Figure I'll leave this one up here for the ladies, because if I had to literally dedicate this to write in three languages, not of my own, just to make a point. So far, the best two are the English and the Arabic. The line on top of Japanese, that's my first attempt. The squiggly below the traditional Chinese, that's my first attempt at two. I will work on that. In fact, we're gonna tackle it as one language at a time. Now, this one goes out to the ladies, since I figure needs to be said. Don't go after a MGTOW man, especially a monk. Especially a monk that has experienced a lot of crap, who does not want anything to do with a relationship. Let me break to you the type of MGTOW. There are MGTOW that have been married, had kids, and been ran through the divorce court system. They don't want nothing to do with you. No matter how hard you trying to worm, actually the majority of them are going to be the ones that want nothing to do with you or relationships. No matter how hard you try to worm your way back into their life, you're going to be sorely disappointed, because they're not going to go for it. You may get one, you might get one, if you're lucky. The only way you're going to get one is if you still have your youth on your side and have not been ran through by every Tom, Dick, Harry, Chad, Pookie, Ray Ray, Chad, and Tyrone in the world. Pretty much, you got to make it to adulthood with some purity, with some purity, with some form of being able to pair bond. Now, next one is the MGTOW that have not been married, but may or may not have had a relationship. I left that category pretty broad, ladies. They're usually around in their 20s to 30s to mid 30s. They've seen a lot. They've seen people. Many of us have seen friends, close friends murdered, all for the sake of a woman. Murdered, slaughtered, literally shot dead on the street, or shot dead where they stand, because they decided to associate themselves with the neighborhood bicycle. Many of them have seen family members with bloody lips and bruised and two black eyes dealing with a woman, with an abusive spouse. Many of them have seen people commit suicide for dealing with a divorce proceeding. Many of them have seen from the outside the inner workings of divorce proceedings. and do not want it for themselves. It's not those guys you should go after. In fact, many of you really shouldn't be going after any men at all. What you should be doing is, if you have a daughter, making sure she doesn't make the same mistakes you did. Do your best to educate her, so she doesn't end up perpetuating to the problem. Now, I'm not telling you how to raise. By all means, I am not. Lord forbid I'm not. I ain't got kids. I accept for the fact that I'm going to die childless and single. I fully will accept it. I've come to grips with it. I'm content with what I have. In fact, to be honest with you, I actually accept it. I accept that fate. I embrace it. I don't cower over it. I don't bemoan it. I celebrate it. Because nobody makes it out of life alive. Many of you are going to be confused about this. You never make it out of life alive. I'm going to let y'all just take a second to think about it. Think about it. You make it out of situations alive, not life. Because everybody's going to have to pay the piper sometime. Whether it be today, tomorrow, years from now, nobody's immortal. It's what you leave behind. It's what you leave behind is your legacy. It's what you leave behind is what your legacy is. It's what you have acquired and you pass on to somebody else. It's what your legacy is. Now, ladies, I'm not telling you that you can't. You can attempt it, but what it is you're running out of good men. Your daughters are running out of good men. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel any type of sympathy for you. None whatsoever. For you have allowed these laws to destroy men. Good job. Good job. You can go after men, you can go after MGTOW all you want. I'm talking to all you ladies, especially the ones on YouTube. You can go after MGTOW all you want. This may be the video that sends them after me. But I've got the freaking paperwork. I've got the proof of the dedication that I don't hate anybody. I wrote it down. Yes, I butchered 2. Maybe I butchered about 3 of the languages. I don't have the best penmanship. I know I butchered 3 of the languages. Severely butchered it. But if you can't appreciate it, try an honest attempt. Then what makes you think you can actually appreciate a decent man? To be honest with you, I'm going to repeat that again slower. If you can't appreciate on an honest attempt to get it through your head by writing in 3 different languages that is not of his own, then what makes you think you can appreciate a decent man, a good man, a great man? I want you to let that. I want you to think about it. I want you to look inside of yourself. If you do not change, things from here on out, things later on, will get progressively worse. Your looks can only get you but so far. And eventually it's going to come a time where your looks won't even get you anywhere. And you're still young. And you still have your beauty going for you. You still have your looks going for you. I want you to understand there's going to come a time, it may not be in my lifetime, where MGTOW is going to grow so astronomically big that you will have to put in work to get attention from men. This is MGTOW on the win. I want you to understand one thing. You can go after me. You can go after MGTOW all you want. But one fact remains. We're here in this world. We are not going anywhere. We're here to stay. Now some of us may find somebody that they could take their crap to keep them around. Some of us will find someone they tolerate. They can tolerate. But I want you to understand this. As time goes on, as people back out of MGTOW to go their own ways, whether it be red pill, black pill, IPMOR, SYS, or just the fact that they find somebody and maybe start a family. One thing is certain. MGTOW will always be here. MGTOW was here in the beginning of the time. MGTOW's going to be here in the last days. On the final moment. So I want you ladies to do something for yourselves. I want you to make sure your daughters don't end up like you. I want you to make sure your daughters don't end up like you. Mostly for their sake. MGTOW's been on YouTube for 16 years. 16 plus years. And they've acquired a mass amount of men. You may not like what I'm saying, but it's something that needs to be said. Now I know you're going to take this and you're going to get hurt. You're going to get your feelings hurt. But the proof is written in not only English, but an attempt at 3 different languages. I want you to mull on this. Let this sink into your brain. This is MGTOW in the Wind, signing off.